Some of my favorite people on the internet, blue check X users, are claiming it's so over about AI images on Reddit showing convincing images of a woman holding up paper with handwritten notes and even a passport. But is there more to the story here? Spoiler alert, yes, there's a lot more to the story. What's up, y'all? I'm Phil Buck, your host of AI Roundup, a weekly digest of all things AI related. And if you enjoy what we do here on the show, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So I started my day scrolling Facebook like I often do, and I was immediately hit by a screenshot of this post from X-user Venture Twins showing an AI-generated image of a woman holding up a sign with a handwritten subreddit and a Reddit username. And the text at the top of this image says, "It's so over." This picture, it's a screenshot from the subreddit r/Diffusion, and this immediately set off alarm bells for me. If you've been watching this show or keeping up with AI image generation technology, then you already know that Stable Diffusion is very far from being able to generate text of this quality. There are some pretty labor-intensive ways to get it to generate text, but even its advanced model, SDXL, which is probably the best Stable Diffusion model for text, it still really struggles with it. And at the same time, Bing, using Dall-e 3 and even the latest updated Midjourney version 6 have made huge strides, but none of them can achieve both the accuracy and the realism in this handwritten note that you see here. So I tried some tests in Bing and Midjourney just to see if I could get anything close to these images. And you can take a look. While Bing definitely did way better than Midjourney, neither one of these was even close to that Reddit post. Okay, so on top of that, I went to go find the original Reddit post, which I gotta note, it was deleted twice, in fact, because on that screenshot from the tweet, it says workflow included. So of course, I wanted to know how they achieved these results. This just sent me down a spiral of investigating, because without the original Reddit post, even scouring the remaining comments on the post, it gave no insight on how these images were created with Stable Diffusion. So I spent more time on X. I was digging through people's reactionary tweets claiming this is the final frontier of identity verification. and really just overall just like wildly reactionary claims that the AI is basically like the end of all trust on the internet because of this image. I gotta say, it was like really deflating to see how gullible and sensational everyone in the comments of these posts were being without a shred of information anywhere to be found on how this was created. I even somehow ended up on a Know Your Meme article about the original post before finally finding a third post from user_harsh_ with the same images, and finally a workflow for how they did this in the comments. And wouldn't you know it, but the image generation steps were super basic, honestly rudimentary methods for making an image of a person in Stable Diffusion. And then there on the third line of the workflow, he says, physically write what you want on a paper, the more texture the better, layer as hard light in Photoshop, and clean up. I mean, give me a break. This pissed me off so much, because this is something people have been doing forever. I mean, you are generating an image with an AI, and then you're doctoring it in Photoshop. I mean, the sensational reactions from people on Twitter and even Facebook, and I mean, I just can't believe this just pissed me off so much. I'm not gonna lie, because from the very moment I saw this image, my intuition was telling me that something was off about this image. That the handwriting does look like someone's literal handwriting, and if Stable Diffusion, of all the image generators that we discussed here, was now capable of generating handwriting, that's a big deal. And like, for me, I'm like, how could I have not heard about this? Well, the good news is it can't do that, and neither can even the best AI image generators at this point, as you saw with Bing and Midjourney. So look, this is the important part of why I'm making this show, and why I had to change plans for today's video, because we have to stop being so reactionary to AI developments. When you see something unbelievable like this, that makes you throw up your hands and you want to exclaim, the sky is falling, it's the end of the world, just stop for a second and use some critical thinking. More importantly, if you have the attention span for anything related to AI, then it's absolutely pertinent not to use your energy just getting so worked up for the robot apocalypse, and put that energy into becoming AI literate. Get to know the tools that exist and what they are capable of. Use them yourself. Push the limits of what they can do. I use these tools every day, and half the time I'm just playing with them to see if I can break them. And honestly, I think this is just so important, especially if you're worried about someone using AI, an AI image generator, to scam your bank into wiring all your money out of your account. You owe it to yourself to learn what these tools can do. As G.I. Joe has taught us, knowing is half the battle. So please keep testing out these AI tools. Use them. Bing is free, people. You just have to sign up for an account. Keep reading up on the latest developments, and of course, keep watching AI Roundup, where I promise I'll be bringing you the most up-to-date information about AI developments once a week. Like, for instance, on Wednesday, we're going to be talking about the spreadsheet of 16,000 artists that Midjourney wants to train their next model on. That's a big deal. That's how these models might be able to do what this whole post is touting. Anyway, I'm taking a breath, and I'm going to say that's it for today's AI Roundup. If you like what we're doing here on the show, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and also connect with us on social media. We're at MSP Media TV everywhere. You can email us. The address is news@mspmedia.tv, or you can call us 833-MSP-Network. All right, guys, I'm Phil Buck, signing off for this January 8th episode of AI Roundup, and I'll see you next time.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.